Hi! Welcome in, friends. I am so excited to be here. Hi! Oh, this is already got good vibes. I'm here for it. Welcome in. I am Jeanine Mason. It is nice to meet you. I play Liz Orteco on Roswell, New Mexico. And I am here today in celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month on Warner Brothers Instagram, doing a little live with my dear friend and castmate, Mr. Michael Trevino, who plays Kyle Valenti on Roswell, New Mexico. And I think he's in here already. Yes, we're on it today.
Did we make this happen?
I was like, hold on, did I speak too soon?
No.
Here we are!
You're good. We're here. We're here. Once again.
Hi, my friend.
Hello.
Once again.
Hello. We're back.
Nothing says, it's Hispanic Heritage Month, like Mikey, Tony Vino, and Janine Mason doing
Sure.
a full day of Hispanic Heritage things.
Just here for it. Just here for it.
I'm so excited to be here. I was just telling everyone we both have the grand pleasure of being on Roswell, New Mexico. We're shooting our 4th season right now in Santa Fe, which is where we both are, as you can tell from my fireplace and the wall art on Tony Vino's wall.
And this hanging on the wall right here. Yeah.
Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Yeah.
Shooting Roswell, New Mexico. And I'm Cuban. Tony Vino is Mexicano. Mm-hmm. And we both get to play Hispanic characters on our show, which is amazing. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's like, it's just I was thinking about this right before we logged on, because the first question I have for us is, what does your Hispanic heritage mean to you? Mm-hmm. And if I may go first, what I was thinking about, Tony Vino, is that like, it means so much to me to have you with me on this gig, that we have each other on this gig, because it's been like you and me since day one, and it's one thing to get to be being a Hispanic, actually portraying a Hispanic woman on a show and getting to lead a show as a Hispanic, as a Latina, but it's another thing to just have the ease of not feeling alone or like I am the one. Oh, it gives me so much. It gives me so much to just know that it's like you and I, and that here it's like, this is how it goes, So yeah.
Yeah. I when they were doing this reboot, right? It was like you were the first person cast of, Cuban descent, and then being like, okay, so if we're doing this again, are we going to display actually New Mexico, right? And show where we're filming? What is your family going to look like, your sister, your father on the show? And we come to find out that, from the top down, guest stars reoccurring, are people from the Latinx community. And yeah, it's great, right? I mean, thankful for Warner Brothers Television and the CW. I mean, they have their own slate of shows, especially the CW, and they do well right across the board. They have the All Americans, they have all the DC properties that they do. But I feel like we're that little engine that kind of tells these stories, that kind of delves deeper into Hispanic heritage or culture, and even Spanish speaking scenes. So I'm glad that we're able to do that and display that.
Totally. I know, as a fan of the show, even though we make the show, we're still fans of the show, just like all of you in here. But as a fan of the show, I get such a kick out of your Spanish scenes, like your scenes that.
Yeah, it's so the first, because this season 3, right, which just aired, that scene went really great. And when we started, we're in the middle of season 4 now filming. And at the top, I remember talking to Chris Hollier, who's our showrunner. And I was like, am I going to be speaking any more Spanish? And he said, well, do you want to? And I said, yeah. And sure enough, like he wrote it in a scene recently. And I could tell that it was a scene that could have gone both ways, right? But I could tell that they threw in the Spanish for a certain moment. And it's nice that they're still, open to that.
Totally.
Yeah.
And so like that question of what does it mean to you? What does being Hispanic mean to you, you know? And I think also the thing we should say is like, I am Cuban, my family, you know, just as Cuban, falling in that Venn diagram of like Latino, Hispanic in the middle. I identify as all of it. I identify as Latinx, as Latine, as Hispanic. Cubans, we fall in that category.
No,
and
no
also
doubt. Yeah.
You know, my mom's side of the family comes from Spain, so we also double fall in that category. But to be Hispanic for me means that like, it's everything. It's everything. Yeah. What are you laughing at? Who said what?
Nothing. I'm listening to you, but there's some stuff going in the comments that I need to, funny stuff happening.
I saw it. It's like someone said, it's Sam Bello from Grey's Anatomy and Tyler.
Yeah. It's all that stuff. Good. Thank you all. It is, well, piggybacking off what you were saying is that it's, you know, whether it's right, how do you identify, right? Latinx.
Yeah.
Are you whether you're Chilean, Guatemalan, Cuban, Mexican, Puerto Rican, right? But there's many different, it's not like what is Hispanic? And I think we all look very different and speak different dialects of Spanish. And so, there's more representation, I feel, across the board, really. Afro-Latina, like Afro-Latinos and across the board. I feel it's there's more stories being told, and we're seeing these characters not look at one certain way how they've always been, right? Totally. If there's like a Hispanic role, you're like, I know what that person's going to look like. And we've come a long way from, God bless them, but the Danny Trejos of the world, right? It's changed. I mean, look at me and you. Now it's this. So it's funny how it's changed over the years.
100%, you know? And it does. It's that's, I think, the beautiful thing about our show is that we're here, and the cross section, the gorgeous cross section of culture that is New Mexico. How much indigenous and, you know, Spanish and Mexican, all of it lives here so beautifully. So it's fun to be the show that gets to show people that. I'm always amazed by how much broadening of an understanding of Latinidad and our diaspora people have, right? Of like, wait, there's also indigenous Latin folks, you know, and Tainos and all that. It's like, there's so much, much. And it's I almost cursed. It's an exciting time to be making television, because not only do people like you and I, who are, you know, who are in front of the camera, even though Tony Vino's directing this season, but there's also writers and producers and showrunners coming up in the industry, and all these kinds of stories are going to get a fair share at getting to be, you know, told authentically, which is exciting.
Absolutely. And it's, well, I think that, you know, grateful for Warner Brothers Television for being open, you know, to telling these stories. And you know, I don't want to say taking a risk, but also like, taking a risk, being courageous in that, because like you said, even behind the camera, even the writers, it is a very diverse group of people now more than ever that are collectively coming together to tell these stories, to write these, you know, to write these scripts, produce these, you know, 1 hour episodes of television. And everybody's doing great.
And that they are universal stories, like, you know, our stories are universal stories. They are stories that anyone can see themselves in. They don't have to be, you know, Cubanita or a Mexicano from East LA. You know what I mean? To see themselves in Michael Trevino's portrayal of Kyle Valenti.
Yeah.
He's just a good doctor. It gets dragged into way too much alien crap.
Just trying to be there for peeps. Yeah.
Okay, so how do you celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month? Is there something that you like to celebrate?
Well, when I think about that, it's like for me, it's and we're coming up, right? We're in the middle of October, but you know, Thanksgiving is next month in November, and that's the big one for me because I get to see everybody. You know, my cousins. We go to my grandma's house, and I go see my grandmother, and she's 89. She'll be 90 next month. And she's still cooking, man. She's still cooking. She's still doing the whole spread and getting everybody together. So like for me, how I celebrate that, you know, thinking about that right now is next month, man. Thanksgiving. That's the one I don't miss, right?
Yeah.
It's like you try and be there for everything else, birthdays and Christmas and family gatherings. But wherever I'm at in the world, I go see my grandma on Thanksgiving. And so I know that like that'll be a special time, you know, coming up and being able to be with her. For me, that feels like the most, because the family's together, but it's something about, I mean, look, everybody loves their grandmothers, right? Who doesn't love that? Something about grandmothers. And when grandmothers cook, you're like,
yours is better.
You're like, yeah, right. It's like everybody's my grandma's the best. And then the food that they make is just like, oh God, that's just it. You can't even describe it. But for me, that's
do you guys do like a hybrid meal? Because like we'll do like the turkey and the stuffing, but then we also have like arroz y frijoles y plátano maduros.
We do like I mean, we have the traditional stuff, but she'll roll the tamales like days before, and we'll have that, and that'll be included in there, and days after. So it's a mix and match of things for sure. But family gatherings, when my grandmother's cooking or anytime she's cooking, is for me how like I just feel really at home there.
Yeah. Oh, it just like fills you up, right? Like being around everyone and.
Definitely. And it's yeah, I mean, because my grandma, she's been cooking for years, and that's just like, I don't know, it's just, I don't know why that for me is just a special.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And it's funny because I'm thinking like I can visualize it now, and she's been cooking with the same pots and pans for since I've been born, right? So 35 plus years, and she hasn't changed. And I've even spoken to my dad about it. I remember joking with him. I was like, hey, like, you know, at some point, like, who's going to get grandma's stuff? Like, I want to get one of those pots and pans, man. Like, there's magic in that, and I want that.
Like,
so
that's some deep sabor. Like, that is like sabor of like years and years of savoriness.
Yes. So, yeah, that's being around my grandmother. I don't know. It makes me feel special, but
that's amazing.
Yeah. How about yourself?
I feel like, I mean, you know, I definitely, any opportunity to be around family is a beautiful way, I think, to celebrate this month and this like celebration of us and our culture. Mm. But another thing I try to do, I try to be intentional about where I'm spending my money this month. I like to like put it towards a couple small businesses.
Yeah.
I started the month with a shout out on my Instagram, a bunch of stories of Jen Zayano Designs, is amazing, you know, designer out of Texas. And she just has really empowering shirts. She did those like Latina power shirts that everyone was rocking for Latina Equal Pay Day a few years ago.
Yeah.
So I like to make a conscious effort to support some small businesses that are Latino owned, you know, maybe watch a play or a show that's like centered around a Latinx story or family. That's kind of like, yeah, the other thing I was going to say is I love to like have coffee with people. I'm sure you get this all the time where someone's like, hey, I want to, you know, pick your brain. I'm curious about the industry, or I'm thinking about moving to New York or LA. And it's fun for me to try to be intentional about being like, this month, I'm not going to skip on that. And I'm going to make sure I get someone on that, like, set up for coffee that is Latinx, you know. Little things like that, like those reach outs make such a difference. I know they made all the difference for me because I didn't have any cousin of a cousin of a cousin who was involved in the industry. So when that small kindness was extended, it just makes all the difference in the world. So I think that's another fun thing people could do. It's like in this month, like just like a little helping hand, a little extended kindness to a Latinx person who's like trying to move through their journey, their dreams.
For sure. Yeah. I you know, I have, you know, friends actually like that, you know, are writers and actors and actresses, and they want to tell these stories. And you're right. It's like, it is the community, I feel. Yeah. And now, because here's what it is. Okay. So the community that we have is getting stronger because the opportunity that is now available to us. Before it wasn't really there. It was happening. It was growing, but it wasn't as present as it is now. And so I feel now that everybody's getting a shot, or now that these roles are different representation of, you know, the Latinx community, more people are working and more people are
Totally.
able to tell these stories. And so because of that, by way of that, the community is growing. And so you're running across people that are from that heritage, from that background, from, they're not just part of the crew, they're part of the creative process as well. So it's nice to see.
I mean, it's so fun. I know you and I have a friend in common, Raisa, Francia Raisa, right?
Yes, yes.
Francia, when I guest starred, one of my first gigs, I guest starred on Secret Life of an American Teenager. And I didn't get to work with her, and the idea that I might have seemed impossible because it just didn't feel like we were prioritizing having, Latinas or Latinx characters, people of color, interact in a way where we got to really focus on what might be their point of view or what might be important to them, that they might be working through together. And then like this whole just shift in the industry of prioritizing this, like becoming friends with Francia and like, and getting excited about like finding a reason to work together. We should find a reason for the three of us to work together. We should make a movie.
Yeah, absolutely. But and correct me if I'm wrong, but on that series, right? Like, wasn't she probably the only Hispanic character in that school? Right. So I don't know if that was a choice where I didn't, but again, that has changed, right? That probably wouldn't be the case now if if that show was still on.
Totally. Yeah. And I for sure played a white character. I was just a passive character. And I would do this thing with my guest stars early on. We'd get the guest star and the character's like, it's like Kim or something. It's neutral enough. And so I would be like, my secret on set is that she's Latina. So like, I'm just a one-day guest star, but I would make the choice of like, I'm gonna play her like she is Latina,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Not? Yeah. That's interesting. Okay.
That's how you know if they're good, is if they can't tell.
That's what I'm saying, right? That's your own little, like, in your prepped in character in your process, like that's your own secret to yourself, right? That you're holding or using. I like that.
Hell yeah, why not? Again, it's all universal stories. It's more of an idea that it might create some sort of bump than it actually does in real time. But okay, so what are some of your favorite? I mean, you kind of talked about the cooking, but what are some of your favorite traditions in your casa, in your house, with your family?
Well, geez, I mean, it's been a while. Honestly, this happened. If I'm being honest, it would be a lot more. So, on my mother's side of the family, I have like four uncles, four tias and four tios. Like my mother's got a huge family, and when I was younger, we were able to get everybody together in one place a lot easier. And I'm reminded of a time like when I was younger, we'd go to like Big Bear, California, and get a cabin and spend like Christmas time together. But it's hard because, as you know, these Latino families, there's too many damn people. And so everybody's, we're growing, we're older. I'm not even in California half the year. You know what I mean? I'm out here. And so it's hard to get everybody together in one place at one time, unless somebody's getting married.
Totally.
But for me, when I was younger, yes, getting together during Christmas time was nice because I just had all my cousins who were my age. Getting together, playing around, playing in the sledding in the snow and all that, and then exchanging gifts. I haven't done that in a while because we're not kids anymore, right? Everybody's displaced. Half of them aren't even in Los Angeles. And so like for you, you're based in Miami, right? Families in Miami, right?
Yeah. Everyone's in Miami and I'm in New York, which was, it was an intentional move to just be closer to family. I have a niece now, my niece Quinn, who is delicious. And it means I'm closer to her and I can pop down on weekends and just spend more time on those like random weekends where it's just like Fulanito's birthday.
Right. Like, and is that why you chose, not to get too personal on IG Live, but so you were in LA, booked the series, but you've chosen to buy property in New York City. Is that because you want to be on the East Coast close to family in Miami? Was that the thinking there?
Yeah, and I love, absolutely. And then I also just love New York and I know my artist heart is best suited to be in New York. And my I'm inspired by that city and the people there, and
Yeah.
it's just a good groove for me. I've known since I was little. I remember flying into New York for the very first time, just being like, "This is where I'm supposed to be."
Wow.
So it's nice, but I love being in Santa Fe too, and it's sort of like the
Yeah.
best of both worlds, getting to pop in and pop out here in our tiny little small town, and then like back to the big city.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah, of course.
But and in case there's new people in here, I have to be better about these like catch-ups.
Oh, you got to re-up. Yeah. Go for
I'm
it. Go
so
for
bad.
it.
Okay.
Yeah. What did they say? Reset the room. Let's reset the room. Right.
In case there are new people in here, I'm Jeanine Mason.
I'm Michael Trevino.
Michael Trevino. We are two very lucky actors who are on a show called Roswell, New Mexico for Warner Brothers, and we're here celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. So thank you for being here with us, and please send in questions. We're going to answer some later. I see them rolling in. Okay, so talk to me about your favorite part about playing Kyle Valenti.
You know, so I came off a series where there was still some sci-fi madness happening, but I played a character that had some supernatural elements to him. I'm
very called Vampire Diaries.
Something like that, yeah. I'm very happy that I'm just a human being who is trying to. I feel like I try and bring the audience into the groundedness of like, okay, let me react to everything that's happening around me. Right. And there's something in Kyle that's he's there for everybody. So I'm part of each like storyline, which is really, really great because I'm able to work with all of you guys. And it's like, what is Kyle's moral compass throughout the season? Right. Where does he stand? Where does he draw a line in the sand of how far he'll go for people? And he goes pretty far. And so I think for me, like, there's just more groundedness and maturity in this character, and to be able to play that with all these other elements happening around me has been a joy.
I agree. I love that about Kyle. He's just like the steadiest, most giving, present character on our show. It's kind of insane.
No, yeah, I enjoy it. It's kind of wild because I don't know. I have my personal life. I haven't always been that way, and I feel like I've changed for the better in many ways, and now that's kind of going into my work, and it feels good. Yeah, it feels good.
Isn't that amazing how that happens? It's like,
yeah, it's strange. It's something I can't describe because it's like you book a series or you book a show, and maybe that's just the producers, writers being around you, and so you write for the character, you write for the actor or actress, and it's just worked for me on this series that they've put me in great positions to, do the best that I can with what's giving to me. But the way that Kyle's journey has been, like, no, there was a much different person, 5 years ago, not even that long. And it's been good to grow into this character throughout the seasons. Yeah.
I love that our fans, care about that as much as all the other stuff too, that they are getting to see us grow like that. They seem to have so much joy in seeing us mature year to year, and that's like such a fun challenge for us as actors on set, because we're sitting there going like, it's season 4, like we gotta kick it up a notch.
A bit because otherwise you just kind of flatline a bit, and you want to challenge yourself but keep it different. Like, we've done this before. We're going to do the same thing in a way. How do we put a different color on this? And so,
totally.
That's where we're at now. And this is what happens when you get to these season, we're in season 4 right now, right? Yeah. We'll be hearing about a season 5 soon, hopefully. But it's like, for the writers, it's a challenge, right? You're like, okay, what else can we do? What do we put these characters through that people will still care about?
I think everyone should know too that whether or not Mikey Tony wants, even though I think you step into this so beautifully, but he is like our sensei on set. It's like the CW. He gets it. He has done it, and we just go, great. We could just follow Mikey Tony's lead. We're gonna be okay.
I never set out to be any leader, that's for sure. But I'm trying to be here for everybody, man, and trying to keep us all keep us on track and keep doing great work.
You totally are. I love it. I also saw a lot of people saying, I love when when Kyle tells people how it is. Amen. And
Yes.
that they're pumped about Kai Bell. And I am so here for Kai Bell Rising.
Kai Bell Rising. Yeah. Very excited to see where things go with Kyle and Isabel, see where things go. Yeah.
It makes me want to shimmy.
Yeah. It's going to be a good one.
Okay. Where were we? Let's see. Let me answer that same one, I guess, about my favorite part of playing Liz. I guess my favorite part of, oh God, that's such a hard question. But here's what I'll say.
Yes.
What I've always, two things. The first is that I, like you, feel as if by chance or by intention of our writers, I feel as if I'm learning from Liz and we are growing together. And I'm so grateful for that. Mm-hmm. And then that's sort of the second part, which the second part is I love that she is a Latina with 1,000 things on her plate. I love that. I love that I get to try to sort out my own, aspirations and intentions and love for family and friends and work and all of that through helping Liz navigate hers. And I love that our audience gets to see her try to do that, because I think that's just an honest reflection of myself and all of the Latin women in my life. I see how they show up in 1,000 places with 100%, and that math does not add up, but yet they still try to do it,
Right.
So
right.
it's fun for me to pull from like all the women in my life who I see doing that. My mom and all her friends, like, that are like my tias, like, they're just fucking sorry. They're just badasses, and they they somehow show up to every single thing, and then they have their moments, of course, and their faults and stuff, but they just like get back up, put the heels on, do a red lip, and out the door,
Right.
So it's fun for me to honor them and honor all of us, and like our culture of women, of like, my God, our matriarchs. We're talking about your grandma, and I think Liz is a little budding one, and maybe perhaps one day we will see her get to like really be, the abuela who's like passing down the wisdom.
Yeah, that must be, you mentioned your mother, and who I've had the pleasure of meeting a few times when she comes to visit, and she's a very, successful woman in her own right. And yeah, I wonder, obviously our parents, right? Very proud of us about what we've been able to accomplish thus far in our careers, but she must be really proud of you to lead this show, to play a Latinx, character, and that just takes on so much, right? And so there's got to be, I don't know if I'm sure she does share with you, but as much as you probably pull from her and your family and the strong women in your family, she's probably, feeling just the same about you in these episodes there, and seeing what else Liz Orteco goes through.
Totally. I think that's really exciting. I'm glad you brought that up, because it is so cool to see how excited they are. Like, I know your dad is so excited and so proud of you, Yeah. And it's just so exciting to see it through their eyes. I think we spent 6 months in Santa Fe, and we are just like 24/7 working our little tushes off. And it's so nice sometimes, just by nature of trying to show up 100 every day and do our jobs to the best of our abilities, you lose out sometimes on like really letting things process. And it was our finale earlier this week of season 3, and it was so cool to like, check in with my family. My mom and my dad are always like the first ones to be like, this is insane. Like, you moved to LA when you were 19, and you were like, maybe I'll get on CSI and like
Yeah.
And like, you're leading a show on a network television
that's going into season 4, probably 5. Like, that's a big deal. Like, that isn't, these shows, they come and they go, and this one's still here. I mean, that speaks to everybody, top to bottom,
it's
the work that we're doing.
Cool. It's pretty amazing. And that's that thing that I'm proud of for us, is like our culture, our family. Like, we are part of each other's every day.
Yeah. And, everybody, all different cultures, everybody in their own right, they bust their ass, but the Latinx, we fucking go. All right. We like, whatever it is, man, it's when it gets intense, or we go passionate people. So if there's if there's a goal, right? If there's something that needs to be done,
Yeah.
we may not go about it in the most delicate way, but it'll get done, you know?
Yes.
So that's just, there's a fire there. And that's also part of our culture across all the different, you know, nationalities in a way. But yeah, that's there. That fire's there, man.
Yes, I love it. Okay, I am going to go through some of these sweet questions we've been getting.
We got some sweet, sweet questions.
We've got some sweet, sweet questions. Okay. Let's see. Trevino, do you help your grandmother with the cooking?
Yes. Yes, I do. But I also eat while I help. So it's probably more to do with getting in there first before the rest of my family, my cousins. Yeah, I like to. Yeah. So I do help out occasionally. Not so much though, because that's the joy she takes. She tells me to sit down most of the time and just like, no, I'll get it. Because every time I'm trying to help her pick up something or move something from the kitchen, she's always telling me, no, I'll get it. No, you sit down, eat more. But that is her problem. She keeps telling me to eat more. And I'm like a bottomless pit. I'll keep eating until I feel sick because I don't know when to stop.
I will attest. Yeah. That is true. That is true. I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
I've seen you black out and eat a bag of chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah, for sure.
This is very sweet. I'm gonna try to read it in Spanish. Me encanta mucho la interpretación latina en Warner y en Roswell, New Mexico. Nosotros estamos bien representados. So they're saying
very nice
that we really love the, you know, Latin story and presence on Warner's and on Roswell, New Mexico in particular, and that they feel very well represented, which is incredible. So
good.
Thank you. We're happy to hear that. Okay, let's see. Trevino, why do your characters, so this must be Kyle and Tyler, I'm assuming from Vampire Diaries. Trevino, why do your characters have to go through so much hell?
Because I've been through hell in life. I've been through so much you have no idea.
I have that much to bring.
Why? Because I don't know why do I go through so much? I don't. People like to watch me suffer. I don't know. What is that? What is that? Because it's to see me react in difficult situations. I guess that's where the work is. That's where you see things. I don't know why that is, but I've kind of gone through hell in these both series that I've been blessed enough to be on for a long time. Yeah, maybe it's just something about me suffering and going through it. Well,
then I guess we could start to give little hints as to season 4, because we are right now halfway through we're nearly halfway through shooting season 4, which is absolutely bonkers. And I am excited that people can look forward to moments of joy for Kyle too.
Yes. There will be moments of joy, and also more like vulnerability and opening up, which is good too.
100%. Okay, I like this one. I love all the New Mexican details that are brought to this show. Thank you. I love that you guys watch with that eye. Does filming in Santa Fe help bring out the Hispanic heritage? Ooh, I love that. I think yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know you agree.
Yeah.
I think yes. I think we all feel that way. This show would not be what it is at all if it weren't shot here. You know, the fact that we get to shoot here is just game changer in bringing like all that it is and trying to honor that in every frame. I think about like what it means to me to get to speak Spanish on set, and if I stumble or if I need help with a Mexicanism that my Cuban brain doesn't quite know, I have you, or I have, you know, Oscar, who works in our sound department, or Gino, who is one of our PAs. I have cultura around me. I have the culture around me as well. I mean, the jewelry we use, the food we eat, you know, all of it, it's all like just a giant love letter to this state and its culture.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, when season 4 airs, because thankfully season 3 we started in the middle of winter, so we didn't have many exterior shots, but for season 4, when that airs, you'll see that because we're out here right now, it's just starting to get chilly now, but you know, we started in August, and the weather was great, and so we're out here and you're able to see, you know, for miles and see the skyline and really show geographically where we're at and remind people that, yeah, we're out here in the middle of the desert in New Mexico to tell the story.
Okay. And then I thought this occurred to me, because we're going to wrap this up soon, but a couple things we have left to talk about. The first thing I thought we should talk about, because I think this is kind of fun, is the fact that my brother worked on Roswell as a PA season 1. And it was like such a proud moment for me to get to that, like that my hustle and grind lined up with when I got this opportunity to, you know, for our show to take off, that I got to help my brother get his foot in the door in our industry. And he still works in the industry. He's, you know, working on the talent agency department side now. But we also have your cousin.
My cousin Gino. Yeah, so he came out in season 2, right? Yeah. As a PA. He's still with us day in and day out. And I got to tell you, like, God. Yeah, man, he's the best. He's just made, for me personally, selfishly, like, he's made it so nice to be out here and have your family really close to you. But man, he's grinding and he's doing, you know, first team right now, because before he was doing like walkies and doing certain lockups. Now he's doing first team. So he's, you know, growing. So I'm super proud of him. And I mean, now he's just like family. I mean, we're all so tight.
Truly.
Yeah.
It was hilarious because it was like, I mean, he's everybody's cousin now, you know, like,
yeah.
Everyone's
yeah, absolutely.
And it just does make such a difference, and it makes me so proud. It's one of my favorite things about this job, getting to see this, like,
well, it's that you're able to help out, like, because your brother's still doing what he wants. And then, you know, Gino, I think he's in it, you know, and he wants to, like, get his days in. He wants to join the DGA. So it's like, this is a great thing. You know? Totally.
Okay. And then last up, we both wanted to shout out a couple things.
Yes.
But let's start with yours, because I'm so excited.
So I'm looking at the frame, because on the earlier one we did, you could see more of a frame. It's unfortunate because I'm cut off here. But
give us a little, model it a little.
I got it. Oh, you want me to? I'm going to model this merch right now.
Do it.
So listen, there is a link in my bio that has all the information, but I'm wearing this sweet sweatshirt. And basically, so for World Smile Day, I collaborated with a wonderful woman named Jessa Joy, who runs a company called Blank Club.
Yeah.
And it is a, you know, wonderful female-owned small business. And she did this run of merch for me. I got some sweatpants right here that if the frame was bigger, you'd be able to see. But I got sweatpants. We got hoodies. And all of the proceeds for this are going to go to Operation Smile in honor of World Smile Day. But I'll make it quick. There's just some of the detail here. It says Operation Smile, Michael Trevino. That is in my handwriting. So this is personalized in my handwriting. I've got a smiley face here. And there is a quote. Hold on, let me grab the hoodie. A little quote here in my handwriting again. So personal, folks. Where it says, everything I love about me is you. Oh, so cute. That's
from your show, right?
Well, that's a shout out from to all the Vampire Diaries fans out there. A character named Tyler Lockwood once said that to a character named Caroline. And so, yeah, there's subtle hits here. But if you hit the link in my bio, this merch is available for 5 more days. Sunday of this week is the last day that it'll be available. So please, you know, love your support. Also to note, we do the first 100 orders. That in the first 100 orders, you get a Polaroid of me actually on the set of Roswell. I had Gino take it. It's me in one of the labs. And so I'm going to personally sign each Polaroid. That'll come with the package. We were going to do the first 100 orders. I'm here to announce that we're going to probably do them all. So if you put in an order, you get an order in, I will make sure that you get a Polaroid that I sign in there. And it's just, the quality's great. Look, it's October, but it's not too early for Christmas gifts, guys. So, you know, get it in now so you can get it over with. Hit the link in my bio. Wait. And this is for oh my God, this is for Operation Smile. So Operation Smile.
Tell us
I've been a part of them for I've been an ambassador for them, honestly, 12 years now. over 10 to 12 years. And I've gone on a mission with them to Thailand, and they provide surgeries for children with cleft palates or cleft lips. Mm-hmm. So there are surgeons all over the world that donate their time to perform these surgeries. And so this money goes directly to that, to be able to provide these surgeries for, literally children around the world. And I've gone to a mission in Thailand. That's also in my Instagram. If you check that out, I have a whole video recapping that. They do great work. And so, you know what? Buy the merch and you're literally providing a smile for children. That's no joke. Like, you buy this merch, it's a win-win. You're giving, a smile, literally, like somebody, the ability to smile because, they're born with the cleft palate and cleft lip. So it's awesome stuff.
That's so
I'm going to be pushing that too, like the remainder of the week. So please hit the link.
Yeah.
Check out.
My sweats are on their way and I can't.
They are. You bought some sweats. I really do appreciate that. Thank you.
Of course.
The merch is great.
I can't wait.
Get on it, people.
And also somebody said in there, in reference to the Polaroids you're signing, someone said, can Gino sign them too?
I will 1,000% make Gino sign each one with me. No doubt. You want one with Gino's signature? Please. I can make that happen for you. No problem.
I will take over Gino's first team PA on set so he can sit in that corner and sign 200 Polaroids.
Yes. That's my shout out. Thank you for allowing me to say that. Oh my God,
of course. Yeah. All the proceeds are going. So go get it, guys, even if you just get a hat. And then speaking of hats, I have one here.
You do?
Which, I'm super excited about. Okay, so as we previously discussed, I live in New York City.
Ooh.
And can you tell? Can you see?
Heck yeah. Does that say El Met?
El Met. This is I love museums. I think you have to love a museum to live in New York. And the Metropolitan Museum of Art is doing this really cool merch drop collaboration this month for Hispanic Heritage Month. All of this cool stuff that says El Met on it, and all of the proceeds from these items that you'd be purchasing are going to the museum's acquisitions of Latin art, which is really rad. If you think about how important it is for spaces, these venues are temples in the way theater is, right? It is the opportunity to walk into a space and to see yourself represented is huge, and to make sure that these spaces are filled with art from people of color, from people of any sort of marginalized groups, or all groups in general, is hugely important. So I love that they're doing this. El Met is how a lot of Hispanics in and around New York refer to the museum. So I will put all of the info on my page at It's Jeanine Mason on my Instagram. But yeah, go to the Met and support their Latin art acquisitions.
I love my hats. I'm going to buy that hat.
Isn't it cool?
What does it say on the side? What does it say on the side?
It just says the Metropolitan Museum of Art.
Dig it. Yeah, I'm in.
Rad, right?
I'm gonna get that.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Good colors too.
And it's the flat one, which I'm normally like a baseball cap girl. I know. But I'm trying to make it work.
No, it's working. I dig it. I'm gonna get one.
All right, guys. We are out. We have half a season of television to make for you.
Yes, still more work to be done out here in the desert.
But this was so fun, and I love you, Mikey Tony. I know you know that, but might as well tell you again right here.
Always. Love you too, my dear.
I just feel so lucky we get to do this together, and wouldn't have it any other way. And thank you to all of you for watching our show and loving these characters. And we promise to keep trying to do you proud.
Yes. Thank you for hanging out, everybody, and listening to us.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Take care. Get that merch.
Get that merch. And happy Hispanic Heritage Month.
Yes, indeed.